Today we're going to talk about Carlee. That's how they pronounce every video I've seen of her, so that is what we're going to talk about. This is for educational purposes. Please do not be mean. In the comments below. But let's get to it and do it. Okay, Carlee Russell, Alabama woman who faked kidnapping charges. An Alabama woman who admitted to faking her own kidnapping has been charged over the hoax. Carlee Russell, 25, faces 2 misdemeanors, one of false reporting to law enforcement and another of falsely reporting an incident. The nursing student called police on July 13th, claiming she saw a toddler in a nappy walking along a motorway. She returned home on July 15th, claiming she had been abducted by a man with orange hair and a woman. Last Monday, she admitted in a statement issued through her lawyer that she had fabricated the whole story. At a news conference on Friday, the Hoover Police Department says Miss Russell had turned herself in that day and was released on $2,000 bail. Her decision that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation as a concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose, Hoover Police Chief said. He added that her story opened wounds for those who have loved ones were real victims of kidnappings. The police, she said, he shared the commentary frustration that she is not facing more serious charges. I know many are shocked and appalled that Miss Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors despite all the panic and disruption her action caused, he said. He also called on state lawmakers to revive the criminal code to add an enchantment charge for false reporting of a kidnapping or other violent crime. In the July 13th 911 call, Miss Russell claimed she had stopped driving when she saw a toddler walking on the side of the interstate. After that, she said a man emerged from the trees, blindfolded her, drove her in a truck, and held her captive at a tractor trailer where she was fed cheese crackers. Investigators said last week. She claimed she was kidnapped for 49 hours and eventually managed to escape by running through the woods to her home, according to police. On Monday, police read a statement from Miss Russell's attorney, Amora Anthony, saying she was not abducted, nor did she see a baby on the side of the road. She said Miss Russell did not leave the city during the hours of the alleged abduction. The statement added that Miss Russell had made a mistake and was trying to address her issues. She could face up to a year in jail and $60,000 fines if found guilty, Ms. Diaz said. Local prosecutors have handed over the case to the state attorney general due to the level of attention it has received. We don't see this as a victim crime, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall said, adding that his official intends to fully prosecute Miss Russell. Okay. Carlee Russell pleaded guilty for faking her own kidnapping in Alabama, apologized for a grave mistake. Russell admitted she lied about being abducted in Alabama in July and about seeing a toddler walking along a highway. An Alabama woman who confessed to lying about being kidnapped has pleaded guilty to criminal charges related to the hoax that set off a national search last summer. Carlee Russell pleaded guilty in Jefferson County, Circuit Court on Thursdays afternoon to 2 misdemeanors courts for filing a false police report. Jeez, I can't speak today. She will be under supervised probation for 12 months, and she must repay almost $18,000 in restitution to the city of Hoover and complete 100 hours of community service. Russell must also continue receiving mental treatment counseling as a condition for her probation. Judge Dave Carpenter suspended Russell's 2 6-month sentences, saying it would be a waste of government resources to put you in jail. Russell spoke in court for the first time, acknowledging her actions. I want to genuinely apologize for my actions and the resulting negative impact inflicted onto others. I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress, she said. I'm extremely remorseful for the pain, fear, and various ranges of negative emotions that were experienced across the nation. I want to specifically acknowledge and take accountability for the pain and embarrassment that I inflicted upon my family, my church, my friends, neighbors, community, and all those who were directly involved in the search efforts for me, she added. A review hearing is scheduled for October 16th to check on the paid amount of restitution and the complete hours of community service. We want to thank Judge Carpenter for doing what we think all judges should do with a Class A misdemeanor first offense, Attorney Anthony said after the hearing. Carlee apologized to the community, to Hoover, to the volunteers for her actions. I hope we will accept that and move on and allow her to live her life. On July 13th, Russell, a nursing student, called 911 and reported seeing a child on the interstate in Hoover, which is about 10 miles south of Birmingham. She disappeared after the call. Police found her car and items belonging to her shortly after. Russell showed up at her house. After nearly 2 days of search efforts and headlines about her case, she told police she had been forced into a vehicle and abducted had escaped her captors and walked home. Days later, police said they were unable to verify most of Russell's details about the alleged kidnapping, including claims that she had been taken to a house where a man and a woman first forced her to undress while they took nude photos of her. Police discovered internet searches on Russell's phone for if you have to pay for an Amber Alert, for a one-way ticket from Birmingham to Nashville, Tennessee, and for the movie Taken, which is about an abduction. On July 24th, Russell admitted that she had not seen a toddler walking on the side of a highway and that she lied about being kidnapped. Her attorney said in a statement, Russell was found guilty of a misdemeanor counts in a court in October. The judge recommended a 1-year prison sentence, but her attorney speculated an appeal for the verdict. Carlee Russell pleaded guilty, avoided jail after falsely reporting her own kidnapping. Carlee, why did I say Carl? Carlee. Jeez, I'm losing my mind. Sorry, y'all. I must just be having one of those days. I tried to say her name right, but I was looking at it and then whatever. The former Alabama nursing student who went missing for 2 days last July after telling 911 she found a stranded toddler has pleaded guilty to criminal charges related to false reporting her own kidnapping. Russell had admitted that she was not kidnapped and did not see a young child on the side of an interstate. In a Jefferson County, Ala Circuit Court Thursday, Russell pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts. For filing a false police report, she was ordered to pay nearly $18,000 in restitution and was sentenced to 12 months of supervised probation, community service, and evidence of continued mental health counseling. During the sentencing, Judge Dave Carpenter also suspended Russell's 2 6-month sentence and said it would be a waste of government resources to put her in jail. One of the most expensive things the government does is incarcerate people. We need to reserve our jails for people who are generally a threat to the community, he said. Although we are very upset about what you've done, you're not a threat to the community. For the first time, the 26-year-old spoke in court as she tearfully apologized to the community for her actions last summer. I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress, Russell said. While addressing the judge, I'm extremely remorseful for the pain, fear, and various range of negative emotions that were experienced across the nation. I wanted to specifically acknowledge and take accountability for the pain. Russell was ordered to attend a reviving hearing in October, which will follow up on the amount of restitution that has been paid and the community service she has served. State prosecutors Clark Morris argued during the sentence that Russell should be given jail time, despite the charges being misdemeanors. This case has always been about respect for law enforcement and respect for this community as a whole, Morris said. Miss Russell faked a kidnapping, duped the community, and contrived this situation. We, judge, still don't know to this day where she was, how she got there, and what she was doing, and with whom she was doing it with. Russell initially told authorities that she was abducted. Russell went missing on July 13, 2023, last year. This year's 2024. After telling a 911 dispatcher that she found a toddler wandering on the side of an interstate highway. According to police, once officers arrived on the scene, Russell and the child were nowhere to be found. Her car, wig, and cell phone were found on the road. It remains unclear why she fabricated a story about a stranded child and why she went off the grid for 49 hours. Russell disappeared, and the mysterious circumstances surrounding it made national headlines before she returned home 2 days later on July 15th. At the time of the incident, Russell told detectives that she was kidnapped by a man who emerged from the trees near her car when she got out to check on the toddler. She also told detectives that she was blindfolded and taken to a house where she was forced to get undressed. Russell told detectives she managed to escape the next day, run through the woods until she emerged home. Let's see if we can find any other information. Carlee Russell, Alabama woman who faked kidnapping, plead guilty to charges and avoids jail time. Carlee, the Alabama woman who admitted to faking her own kidnapping last year, apologized in court Thursday after pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges of making a false police report. I made a grave mistake. Yep, I extremely apologize. Okay, and $17,974.88 in restitution to the city of Hoover, Alabama. Russell acknowledged she is receiving mental health counseling and was told by the judge to continue the counseling as a condition of her probation. Russell captured the nation's attention when she mysteriously disappeared in July 2023 after calling 911 to report a child walking along the highway. Officers arrived at the site and found her vehicle and personal items, but Russell was nowhere to be found. After a nearly 49-hour police search, Russell returned home and said she had been abducted. She later admitted the kidnapping was a hoax. In October, a manipulative court judge found Russell guilty of 2 misdemeanor charges. And I guess this will give us a few more information. On July 13, 2023, American nurse student. Okay, we just been calling her Carlee Russell, but it says Catherine Carl. Nicole Russell, born in 1997-1998, allegedly disappeared for 49 hours from her home in Hoover, falsely reported to police afterwards that she had been abducted. The story of her disappearance went viral on TikTok and other social media platforms. On July 24th, Russell admitted that she had fabricated the story and had not been abducted. Russell made a 911 call at 9:34 p.m. on July 13th, which had been publicly released. In the call, she said that she had stopped at the side of Interstate 459, having seen an unattended young child on the side of the highway. She then called a family member to report the same situation. Before contact with them. With the line remaining open, Russell's car was found by police abandoned at the location she had described. Russell appeared at her parents' house 49 hours later on July 15th and was taken to the hospital, where she was briefly questioned by police. In that interview, Russell reported having been abducted by a male and placed inside a tractor-trailer truck. She said she was able to escape, but was recaptured and placed in a car. She claimed to have been undressed and photographed while blindfolded, though not bound at the wrist to avoid causing literature marks, and said that she escaped again, eventually running home. Crime Stoppers raised more than $63,000 in reward money for the search of Russell. Doubts and omissions. The local police department investigations stated that they had been unable to verify most of Russell's statement, and that continuing investigation had caused doubt on much of Russell's account. Among her web search in the days before her disappearance: do you have to pay for an AMP alert? How to make money from a register without being caught? Birmingham bus station one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville, and the abduction film taken. The Hoover Police Department stated in a press release that they had not found any evidence of a child walking on the side of the road, nor did they receive any additional calls about a toddler walking down the interstate. On July 24, 2023, Russell later admitted through her attorney, Anthony, that her kidnapping claim was a hoax. Her attorney stated there was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident. This was a single act done by myself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone from the time she was missing. My client apologized for her actions to the community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies, as well as to her friends and family. Russell had been charged with 2 classes A misdemeanors for faking the abduction, false reporting to law enforcement authorities, and falsely reporting an incident. Conviction. Russell pleaded not guilty to the charges of false reporting to law enforcement authorities and falsely reporting an incident, but was found guilty by Judge Brad Bishop on October 11, 2023, based on the recommendations of state prosecutors. In, I'm not sure how to say this, Manikapohl Court, there is no jury trial. However, the Constitution allows anyone facing jail time to have their case heard by a jury, which Russell's defense attorney indicated she would be appealing to do. Bishop recommended 1 year in a jail and $17,874 in restitution for Russell. He also recommended 2 fines of $831 each. Russell's attorney argued against jail time, stating it would be unusual for a first-time Class A misdemeanor. In March 2024, Russell pleaded guilty to 2 counts of filing false police reports and was sentenced to a year of probation and 100 hours of community service. She was also ordered to pay $18,000 in fines. And that is all for now. I hope we all learn not to do this, because this is a very bad idea. Don't fake a kidnapping. Don't fake you going missing. Don't fake stuff. Just don't. And I hope we all learn something from this. Have a great and wonderful day. Bye for now.